Crazy for the fans and crazy for the sport, and for what extra money that costs is nothing.
England today is well represented in Formula One with Jason Button, Lewis Hamilton. Brazil only has Massa. Nelson, how do you see the Brazilian motor racing today? Do you think we have a bright future to look forward to? Good drivers coming?
Well, actually, we don't have motor racing in Brazil. We have a big disorganization. Nobody is capable that is in motor racing today, and we're getting worse and worse. In a few years, we don't have nobody from Brazil going out to Europe to race in categories that can go to Formula One afterwards.
What do you say to your son Pedro, who's in karting?
Well, in 2 or 3 years, if you want to go, you have to get out of Brazil and you go to Europe to do Formula outside Brazil, because here you have nothing.
No new pilot, no new drivers coming on the next few years?
I don't think so.
What about Felipe Nasser, for example?
Well, he was already there, So I'm talking about young pilot that can go up.
What about in England, Nigel? Anyone we should keep an eye open for?
Well, I think again it's changed so differently. We talked about Lewis Hamilton, and how many people at the age of 7, 8, 9, 10 years of age are picked up and supported by a great manufacturer, and obviously supported with the money to take them through all the way through to Formula One. It certainly was unheard of in our day, wasn't it? I mean, nobody had that kind of opportunity. And I think the biggest problem again is, and the challenge as opposed to be a problem, is that manufacturers and teams are choosing their drivers 10 years before they get to Formula One. So then you can have other drivers come up through the ranks of the formula and never actually break into Formula One because they won't have the opportunity. So it's very, very different times ahead, very different times.
Nelson is very critical regarding the motor racing in Brazil. How is it in England?
I think England is one of the strongest areas for motorsport. It's the home of motorsport. Most of the Formula One teams are based in England. So we are very fortunate and very privileged to have and all the great engineers. There's a lot of them that come from our country too, and the designers.
Any examples Brazil could copy?
Well, I mean, someone said to me the other day, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, and you don't. You just have to tweak it. But I mean, everything goes round in a circle, and then hopefully technology will get to a point where, because I mean, I don't know what Nelson thinks of this, but they have the capability now of having Formula One races without any pilots in the cars. The technology's there, and that wouldn't be much fun for the fans.
Nelson, do you have advices for the Brazilian Motor Racing Confederation?
Well, I've been saying for many, many years now, first, people have to be involved in motor race, have to understand a little bit about motor race to be president of us, CBI and all this, and a lot of things have to change. Motor race in Brazil is a complete disaster, and not from now, but the last 20 years has been the same.
Would you like to get more involved?
No, not really.
It's not something you would like to do now?
No.
Why not?
Well, because it's too many things to change that maybe it's impossible to change.
Impossible, you say?